El hermano del asistente de la Casa Blanca, Natalie Harp, reveló detalles inéditos sobre la obsesión de su hermana con el presidente Donald Trump que no se pueden perder para entender lo que está pasando tras bambalinas. Y amigos, no olviden suscribirse al canal para saber lo que está pasando realmente en Estados Unidos. Comencemos. No pensé que la saga de Natalie Harp pudiera ponerse más interesante, pero hace unas noches, el hermano de Natalie Harp, quien ya declaró públicamente que la relación entre ella y el presidente de los Estados Unidos es increíblemente insalubre, sus palabras, sí, nos dio más de estas palabras, más de estas historias y más información que van a querer ver, y quiero reproducir esta entrevista completa sin interrupciones. Tengo demasiados pensamientos después de ver todo esto. Por favor, quédense para escucharla, pero claro, recuerden que si quieren apoyar nuestro esfuerzo, nuestro trabajo periodístico compartiendo toda esta información, no olviden por favor suscribirse al canal y darle like a este video. Créanme que me ayuda como no tienen idea y ayuda a que este tipo de videos lleguen más lejos. Ahora sí, entremos de lleno a esta entrevista y por favor préstenle mucha atención. Miren por favor.
Front now, Preston Harp. He is the brother of Natalie Harp. And Preston, I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you. And I know you've shared some photos with us of you and your sister Natalie as children. Obviously, there you are, Padres fans. There you are with your parents. And now your sister is front and center in the news. I mean, front and center as it gets. Did you ever think you'd see something like this?
No, it really blows my mind.
I mean, you know, your sister, my understanding is, first became known to Trump back in 2019. And at the time, she credited him, Preston, with helping her beat a tragic battle, but one that she incredibly beat with bone cancer. Here's what she said.
This president pushed that forward and possibly saved your life.
He did. As I like to say, I'm not dying from cancer anymore thanks to President Trump. I'm living with cancer. I'm living the quality of life that I always wanted to have, that it took me 4 years to find because I wasn't offered it here. It took President Trump going to Washington to be able to get that for me.
And after that, Preston, she had speaking slots at the Faith and Freedom Conference, at the 2020 RNC, right? She became very high profile and then started working for Trump. How much do you think she truly believed that Trump saved her life?
Well, that's an interesting question. But if she thinks about it, what he did was he made experimental drugs legal to try, and that insurance would pay for it. So it's not like he like physically saved her life, you know? It's kind of different. Like, it's like Donald Trump didn't pay his own money to save my sister's life. So it really just depends how you look at it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, and look, I guess it's just one example of everyone trying to understand, you know, who this person is who spends so much time and, you know, is with the president all the time, right? He's the commander in chief and she has such an important role. So there was a series called The Art of the Surge just a couple of years ago, Preston, 2024. And in it, your sister talks extensively about working for Trump. I just wanted to play a clip of it for you. Here she is.
Politics was never something I liked. Business was my background, real estate, MBA. I was very much not interested in politics in California. I feel like you get the same kind of sort of politicians. But when I was sick, I started watching the Republican debates. He was my first exposure to politics, and I loved it. Like, this guy, you know, he gets it.
So she says there, he was her first exposure to politics, right? You guys grew up in the same home, the same family. So you understand where she's coming from in a way that no one else does.
Yeah. I mean,
what do you think drew her to him?
Not her.
Yeah.
Well, my mom raised us with the idea that American exceptionalism was the correct way of looking at things, that the United States is the boss of the world, that, like, you know, slavery was back then, that was normal. People weren't bad because they had slaves. And honestly, and it's like Trump wants to take all those books out of schools. He wants to rewrite history. And so, like, I think that my sister, unfortunately, didn't break out of that delusion that my mom raised us with. And Trump is like everything that my mom taught us to respect. So I think that's where her infatuation for Trump comes from, honestly. Because I don't think it's a physical attraction. Let's get real, you know? Like, personally, I don't think so.
So when you use the word infatuation, I understand your point about the nature of it. I mean, she obviously is his assistant. They call her the human printer, right? She prints everything. She takes his social media dictation. She accompanies him on almost every trip, including when he goes to Mar-a-Lago or his golf club in New Jersey on the weekends. And she was, of course, Preston, as we're all now aware, one of the very few people who did not include the Secretary of State or Treasury that Trump took off Air Force One via that catering truck. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like that. If you're really friends and loyal to your team, why would you just go peace out and take another airplane when you think the other airplane's going to get shot down? Like,
what do you think it is about her? I mean, what do you make of how much the president relies on her? We've learned a lot, from Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan's new book, we've learned, right, about his incredible reliance on her at all hours of the day to post social media posts, just as one example.
Yeah. I think that Trump's best friends are people who are his fan club, and so she's his biggest fan. And so that's probably why he likes her. And like, she's good looking. She's got a good personality. Like, I don't know.
I want to ask you, Preston,
I mean,
something
she thinks that he saved her life. So like somebody living with that kind of gratitude, that must feel pretty good.
I want to ask you about something. I don't know if you knew about this. You probably didn't. But we're just breaking it here at CNN this hour. And that is, two sources, Preston, are telling CNN that your sister was involved, back in October 2023, right? The context here is Donald Trump's motorcade was going to leave Trump Tower for a court appearance, And they were all getting into the motorcade. Oh, yeah. There was sort of a screaming match about who was getting in what car. And it turned out that there wasn't room for Natalie. So she insisted, she said no. Trump had personally asked her to come to this court appearance, so she needed to be in the car. Now, according to these sources, the end result is that your sister jumped into the trunk of one of the motorcade vehicles to go to the court appearance in Lower Manhattan.
That's really funny. I didn't even know about that.
I mean, what is your reaction to that? I mean, you're laughing, but I mean, is it funny or what? I mean, you know her, so that's why.
I'm sorry. It's actually kind of sad. That's obsession. That's like an unhealthy obsession with someone if you're going to jump into the trunk of their car. Like,
So I mentioned Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan's book, Regime Change, Preston, which of course I know you've heard a lot about it, but in that, Natalie's name became known to a lot of people, right? Prior to the whole NATO plane incident, she was in the book as an important player, and her role, her importance to the president became clear. They report that she left him, the president, a series of letters in personal spaces where she told him, "You're all that matters to me," in one, and another one she writes, "I want to bring you joy." And then they say that Trump said, "Your sister is the only one who loved him as much as his wife and kids." So what is your reaction to this? Does this sound like her, or the person that you knew well, your sister?
Yeah. I mean, basically, I'd say since she was like 16, she's had an obsession with gosh, how do I explain this? She's written letters to other presidents. Let me put it that way. And so like her dream came true finally.
Oh, interesting. So you're saying that she actually was very aware of politics, right? And that she had written other presidents' letters. Do you happen to know which ones or what they were about or anything, Preston, that you would be able to share here?
I didn't see the letter, but George Bush, obviously, during the Iraq War.
And did anything ever come of that? I mean, did the White House ever respond or anything, or she just sort of sent a letter?
No, they never responded.
Yeah. Now, look, I've been emphasizing here, obviously, you know her in a way that no one else does as her brother, but you are obviously estranged from her at this time. But, we see those pictures of you all as children and your family. If she was listening to you right now, is there anything you'd want to tell her?
Yeah, I love you. I hope that you change and that you wake up and you realize that everybody on this earth is part of a human family, and no country is better than any other country. And the history of the United States is unfortunately really sad, and it shouldn't be rewritten. We got to all come together and try to make it better.
Well, I really appreciate your time and taking the time to talk to us. Obviously, your sister's in a position of incredible influence and power, and that's important to all Americans. So thank you for sharing with us.
No problem.
Creo que mi mayor conclusión de gran parte de lo que compartió el hermano de Natalie Harp fue este sentimiento final de no queremos que lastimes a la gente. Puedes cambiar, todavía puedes regresar, y creo que en los próximos días, semanas, si el movimiento MAGA continúa dando, continúa dando un tiro en el pie, lo cual hará porque son tontos, y es un punto que quiero tener cerca por el resto de nuestras vidas. Esta gente es tonta, los republicanos lo son y deberíamos de tenerle menos miedo a esta gente. Esa es una historia para otro día de verdad. Sin embargo, pero es que Natalie Harp es una mala persona, ¿verdad? Correcto. Natalie Harp no es como una joven pasante descarrilada que solo intenta hacer lo mejor por el señor Trump y ya saben, escalar posiciones. Esto es la Casa Blanca, ¿verdad? Estos no son minucias. No quiero decir que ser pasante en el Capitolio no sea nada, pero esto no es una pasantía en el Capitolio. Esta es una Casa Blanca. Ha estado allí por un buen tiempo. Conoces al tipo. Natalie Harp se envía mensajes de texto con líderes mundiales. Natalie Harp es la persona que decide qué llega y qué no llega al frente de los hijos de Donald Trump, ¿de acuerdo? Ella toma decisiones e influye en las políticas. Cuando Marjorie Taylor Greene se estaba comunicando con Donald Trump sobre los archivos, ¿recuerdan eso, no? Cuando Marjorie Taylor Greene y Donald Trump comenzaron a pelear fuertemente, ella publicó 2 capturas de pantalla. Una era de ella enviándole un mensaje de texto a Donald Trump y les dejaré, adivinar, estoy seguro de que podrán saberlo. ¿A quién le tomó la segunda captura de pantalla? Fue a Natalie Harp, quien estaba escribiendo el engaño de Jeffrey Epstein porque defiende a Donald Trump, sin importar qué, no le importa qué, lo defiende. Así que mientras que los republicanos intentarán presentar a Natalie Harp como solo es una mujer que trabaja en la política, lo cual en primer lugar, ¿cómo tratan a las mujeres que trabajan en la política? Bastante mal. ¿Cómo tratan a las mujeres en general los republicanos? Le quitan su privacidad, su autonomía corporal, ¿verdad? Dicen que quiere quitarles el derecho al voto, así que ni me hagan empezar con este tren de historias de lástima. Van a pretender que Natalie Harp es alguien a quien no deberíamos estar hablando, ¿verdad? Que no deberíamos de tocar el tema de Natalie Harp, lo cual no es cierto. Absolutamente deberíamos de hacerlo, pero en segundo lugar van a decir que no es alguien que merezca críticas. Creo que es una de las razones, además de todas las razones explicadas por su hermano, que la locura de saltar a los autos, correr por los campos de golf. Señor Trump, no comí por usted. Señor Trump, haré cualquier cosa por usted. ¡Qué locura! Señor Trump, aquí hay una nota de amor para usted. Estoy durmiendo en los cuartos de la servidumbre para estar cerca de usted. Por lo que creo que esta historia es de verdad muy importante. Es por eso que quiero que saquemos este estado de incomodidad. Y la verdad, no sé si me gusta esto. Deberíamos estar diciendo eso como demócratas, se preguntan. Quiero sacarnos de este estado, y creo que cualquiera que vea este programa sabe muy bien que, a veces lo llevamos un poco lejos, en el buen sentido, ¿verdad? Nos estamos burlando de Erika Kirk desde el primer día. Yo decía, no me agrada la señora, y mucha gente decía, oye José, es una viuda. No. Eres una fascista antes que cualquier otra cosa. Erika Kirk no es una viuda, es una fascista. Esa etiqueta va primero, ¿verdad? No quiero escuchar a ningún otro decir, ay, no te metas con ella, pobre mujer. Tienes que tener en cuenta que antes que todo es una mujer fascista. Es todo lo que veo y merece críticas. Así que Así que habrá algunas personas que digan, Natalie Harp solo trabaja para Donald Trump, solo lleva las computadoras portátiles a todas partes. ¿Realmente necesitas criticarla? Sí. Ella es parte de todo esto, y ese mismo argumento se va a usar en contra de todos los hijos de Donald Trump, o mejor dicho, en su nombre. ¿Realmente necesitamos meter a Ivanka en esto? ¿A la familia de Donald Trump? A la familia no, a la familia que está abusando de la presidencia, a ellos sí. Nos están explotando, ¿saben? Estamos en guerra en este momento porque es rentable para Don Jr. y para Eric Trump, ¿verdad? Es por eso que estamos en guerra. Por supuesto, los israelíes lo quieren, y por eso Donald Trump siempre hace lo que ellos quieren. Un poco explícito, pero es cierto. Pero necesito que nos sintamos cómodos como estas personas, como partido, ¿no? Y como pueblo. Toda esta cháchara del respeto no es real. Ellos no respetan tu dignidad humana básica, y tú vas a respetar su poder y autoridad. No, absolutamente no. Yo no haré esto. Y es la única manera que vamos a arreglar todo esto. Si hacemos hagamos responsable a toda esta gente, y eso incluye a Natalie, y especialmente a Natalie. Ella es una mala persona. Todas estas son malas personas. Son fascistas, a quienes no les importa si sufres. De hecho, se deleitan con ello, les gusta, lo disfrutan. Es lo que buscan. Por lo tanto, debemos de hacerlos responsables. Necesitamos hacer más preguntas. Natalie Harp, ¿cómo voy a seguir diciendo que alguien lo hará? Necesita ser citada a declarar, necesita ser llevada ante el Congreso, necesita responder preguntas porque ha sido parte de todo esto. Estas personas son fascistas. No hay comprensión en mi corazón y lo siento. Pero de verdad no lo siento, de verdad. Hay que cuestionarlos, hay que llamar la atención a estas personas, hay que hacer que hablen bajo juramento. Y es algo que voy a decir hasta el cansancio porque es algo que siento y es algo que es verdad. Pero bueno amigos, por ahora acabamos de llegar al final del video. Espero que les haya gustado. Si fue así, por favor déjenmelo saber en los comentarios. Recuerden que si les gusta el contenido de política estadounidense, les va a encantar suscribirse al canal, ya que subimos videos como estos todos los días. Mi nombre es José Alvarado, yo soy economista y estoy comprometido a informarlos todos los días. Nos vemos en el siguiente video. Adiós.